Hello, Riddle 5th graders. Welcome to video 6. In the past videos, like last week, we did a drawing of our favorite candy. We were looking at realism. We talked about Chuck Close, who is a realistic artist who did photorealism. We made a red apple, and we did some shading using complementary colors. So the opposite of red is green. So we used green for shading. We also did some abstract objective where we looked into Pablo Picasso and we made an abstract face in the style of the famous artist Pablo Picasso. We also investigated some elements of art with lines and shapes and colors, and we did some abstract non-objective art. Today we're looking at rolling back to some abstract objective, so it's not going to be total, we're not in the total realism. We're going to be looking at kind of like a cartoon stylized, so it's kind of abstract sunset drawings is what I want to make today. So I have some images that I really like, and this is what I'm looking at. So if there's one of these images that you like, you could hit pause and go back and try to draw it. You could also go to Google search and find one that you like, but these are stylized. Even though some of this may or may not have been with watercolors, made with watercolors, we do not need to use watercolors. If you had them, you could, but you do not need them. You don't need to use paints. We can use crayons, colored pencils to make the same, if not similar, effects. So looking at these, I'm going to use a black marker so that way you can see. But you choose one, and you can take different elements of different ones. So you can take, if you like the wave on this one, you can use that wave. If you like the sun, the top half on this one, you can piece these together. So I have a piece of paper here, and you can work small. You can work large. Small, for example, art cards. You don't have to work large. You do not need to work on poster boards. If you want to, you can. That's fine. So looking at my first image here, I'm looking at this, the waves here. I'm going to use a marker so you can see it. It's something like this. Oh, that doesn't show up very good. I can make these waves. And there's some water in the background. And throw in some, I can add designs. I do not have to copy any picture exactly. You can kind of make it, the idea is that we make it our own. So I'm making some chunks of land here. Being inspired by other people's artwork is totally fine. We can always gain ideas. So there's my pieces of land. On this picture, the pieces of land have designs. So I have some lines on some areas, not every one. Just a couple lines on it, just to probably create some separation. So they're not just all the same. The sun. And then the sun has lines on it. Black is really a key color on this. It kind of creates a lot of separation, especially on the sun. I'll show you what I mean. You can see the separation with that black. Instead of having just straight lines touching, they're kind of like curled because of that black. Here's a little idea. So you can, like I said, you can hit pause, or you can Google and type in stylized ocean sunsets. There's some neat stuff going on in the sky there. This one, the wave has some different lines. So you can tell, I mean, obviously it doesn't look real, so it would be abstract. It would not be realism. And it's definitely abstract objective, whereas if it were non-objective, we would not be able to see and recognize anything. So we can actually recognize what it is, but it does not look like it's made in a realistic manner. So then when you're coloring, because here's the design I made, I would suggest that you start with the bright colors, your yellows, your oranges, and you have a good opportunity here to mix some colors Use some light orange. So I don't want to make everything just kind of boring by any means. And with the sunset, there are a lot of different colors. You could introduce some pinks and purples and some blues. I've even seen some tints of some greens and such in the sky. This time of year, the sky and the sunsets start to get a lot more colorful because farmers are farming and pulling crops in, and that sends a lot of dust up into the sky. And that dust is going to help produce some different colors because the light is shining through little bits of small dust particles, and then it kind of can change the color when we look at light through dust from really far away. Coloring, I'm doing a little bit of orange, and I'm probably put on here too much orange. I'm going a little bit of red. Yeah, I don't want just yellow. I'm going to introduce some more colors here in the sky. There we go, some yellows, some orange, real bright, fiery, warm colors. Warm colors, red, orange, and yellow are the warm colors. Indicate things that are warm or hot. For the water, you could use some different colors of blue. Not a bad idea. And color different shapes in with different blue, green, straight up blue. But just try to make it look interesting. Interesting as possible. So I'm just throwing down some blue-green here first. Got a lot of different designs and shapes in this one, so it's very busy. That's okay. Real busy. There it is. I'm going to introduce some regular blue. And sometimes you can press hard, sometimes you can press light. I really like the art card concept because it's small, easy to save and keep, and still have all the qualities of a nice artwork. And then if I like the way one of my art cards looks, I can buy a canvas or something. I can make it large, and then I could make it. So it's a good way to, it's kind of, the idea is kind of like a thumbnail sketch. A thumbnail sketch is when you're sketching small and just kind of working through some ideas. I feel like I need to introduce that darker blue in some places. So I'm working kind of fast. I should have probably left a little bit of white in the water. It's really busy looking. So here's one. Here's another. You can see on this one the black is really pops out, doesn't it? You could do the black with a black crayon, but if you do the black with a black crayon, you should probably do that black last, because if you have black on the art card first and then you start adding yellow, if the yellow touches that black, it's going to smear and it's going to cause some problems. So, abstract, objective, sunsets. And then after you make your art, take a picture with the camera of your Chromebook, and then on Schoology there's an art discussion. You can click post it so that way I can see it there. Really helps me if you post it in the art discussion, because that's where I go through and I keep all your class's artwork, and then other kids can see your artwork as well. I look forward to seeing it. So good luck, have fun, happy week 6.